vlogger heads. I wanted to reply to rivrvlogr's video about elderly parents and/or sick parents and what the responsibility of the child is. The adult child for their parent in that instance. It's Saturday, March 3rd, 2012, and it's 4:20 p.m. And I've tried to make this video the day I watched it a few times, and then today I've tried 3 times. And so I'm not going to answer the question because it is so, for me, this question is difficult because of family history, of current situations. Honestly, I think the question is so difficult. I mean, I'm almost going into it again. Like, I let my mother into my home, let her stay when she split from my stepfather one of the times, and I really got hurt in that situation, and she wasn't even ill. And I would say that growing up, I didn't even realize it. Aside from the abuse in one household, the other household just wanted me for the money. I'm not saying, does being a parent automatically mean you're going to be a responsible and caring adult toward the child, and that you've taken care of them and therefore they should take care of you? It's not like that in all instances. It certainly isn't. And but I can say at the same time that if I had the money, sure, I'd even have them taken care of now. I'd have them provided for now, and they're not. I would have had all of them, all 4 of them, even the one that hurt me the most. All 4 parents, because both sets remarried, although they've all split up or divorced. I would have taken care of them all, just out of compassion or proving myself. I have no idea. Whatever. Or because. But not because they took care of me. All they did was, maybe I've learned that they're human and that they're themselves. Just, as a kid, you perceive the situation, or you perceive your parents a certain way. And depending on your belief system, which I had quite a belief system growing up, you may feel, regardless, some sense of I was never disrespectful, except for, it was very rare. I wasn't a disrespectful kid, and I certainly don't want to be disrespectful now, although I have in more recent times been unafraid to share my opinion. But the point of the matter is that this situation is such that I wouldn't be able to take care of them anyway. And really, it's kind of, I shouldn't feel any guilt about that. So for those of you who can't or won't due to circumstances, I don't think you should feel bad. It's not like things have changed in recent generations, and I don't just mean, we've become an individualist, consumerist, everybody for themselves society. I mean that not just economically, but the way people have been taking care of themselves or not, and making their own choices and doing things hasn't exactly been across the board, put little kid in school, make sure they're taken care of, get them on the right path for a career, and then, you've taught them and loved them, and out they go, and then they'll come back on holidays, and everybody loves each other, and then when you get old, you can move into a room and play with the grandchildren, and you'll be taken care of, and you're part of it. I don't think it's been like that for a while. It probably is for certain families of a certain either financial status and or really tight family unit, usually from people who aren't North American, because I would say US, Canada, things have really changed. And a lot of us got screwed growing up, and I say that in many ways. And maybe we're even realizing that, well, I wouldn't say in one instance. I know that for one of my parents, two sets of my parents, they had a great upbringing, and the other two units had a good upbringing, and then the other two didn't. And I think that affected how they dealt with me. Probably. And that things would have been different if it'd been a mix of them. And if they'd switched, I'm not making any sense, but if they'd switched, I would have been, if two functioning units had been taking care of me, I bet you things would have been different, as opposed to what happened. I'm just saying, I wouldn't be me, not making sense here, but that is funny, though. That is kind of interesting. And I was mixing the two men, too, which is, there you go. I've just supported gay marriage as well in this, for all of you who are not only mad that I would say that you shouldn't take care of your ill parent, but that that would have been better if the two men had been together instead of the women involved in the marriages. I don't really have good mother examples in my life. Yet, like I said, if I had the money, if I was doing well, heck, I'd make sure they were all taken care of right now. That they were all comfortable. That if they needed care, they'd get it. I certainly would not let any of them live with me, or they wouldn't want me living with them anyway. But I let my mother live with me at one point, and it did not work out very well at all. And she wasn't even sick. It was just during one of her breakups. So, yeah. Again, I wasn't going to go on into the personal stuff, and I still touched upon it and made this a long video. rivrvlogr, this video that you made really hit a nerve on me, because it has me being contrary to myself. Because the way I raised myself religiously for the longest time, right straight through my teens, up through, I never would disrespect my parents, and regardless of anything that ever happened, I would have always been respectful, and that would obviously include doing what I could in their elderly age. There's also, though, a few things that have come into play, which is my lack of funds, but then there's the pressure I feel being a surviving twin, that I owe it to my parents to do so much when I don't. They had sex and gave birth, and I was born, and that's not my, just like things that happened when I was a kid, that's not my fault. So I think it all depends on your situation, what your capability is, your family that you have on your own, or how, family, blood is thicker than water. I just don't believe in that anymore. Not in every instance. There are some relatives that feel close to, but that's because I've developed some sort of relationship with them. Whereas, yeah, my friends, like, heck, I would probably do more for some of my friends than I would for my parents. And that sounds so wrong. That's why I hated making this video, but I'm really compelled by what you asked, because what can you do? I mean, I've seen people take care of their relative to the point where they didn't take care of themselves, and then they end up, then it's a bad situation anyway. And at the same time, I have expected a wealthier relative to make sure that a grandparent was taken care of, was provided for. It was the least that could have been done for such a wonderful woman. I'm speaking of my father's mother. So, knowing that I couldn't do anything for her, and that it's so complicated, this question, especially in today's society. I mean, I just watched a documentary last night about homelessness and poverty in America. I mean, if people can't even take care of their own family units and themselves, how could they take care of older people? Yet I don't believe in the extreme one culture where, old people are expected at a certain age to just go walk off a cliff. I mean, I don't want to hear, my dad say that, when he gets to a certain sickness, he'll just go out into the wilderness and die. I want them to be okay and taken care of and not have to worry. At the same time, I want to say to some of my parents, because I've had a few, go fuck yourselves. You didn't do a damn thing to make sure I was okay growing up. You didn't, why should I care? There's no connection. I swore in this video. And this was the short version. This issue bothers me. Because, like I said, growing up, what I indoctrinated in myself was always respect your parents, your elders, this part of me that feels that I should be a success so that they're taken care of, like the olden days where you send part of your pay home to take care of mom and pop. I mean, not that that's my reality, and I don't think that's been a reality for many people. I mean, how many people are saying that they're sending part of their wages home? I mean, I doubt it, right? I mean, if you are, amazing, but that's not something that generally happens these days. But part of me wants to believe that happens. Part of me thinks that things have happened like that for many people. Like the thought that when I've seen so many schoolmates that were able to have their schooling provided, or at least started off by their parents. They were helped through school and guided through difficulties in life and things like that. I just think, well, duh, like you were helped through so many BAs. Hell yeah, you use your success in the end and take care of them. Yet those same parents wouldn't even need that. They would already be provided, have that already set up, that their care will be provided for, because they won't burden their kids. They don't believe that their kids are responsible for them. They want their kids to be human beings and live their life and and just be happy. So yeah, 15. I hated this question, and I can't stop trying to answer it. I'm on the fence on this one. I think it all depends on your circumstance. If you can help, then and if you can help and you can bear it, of course, because I feel like we should be compassionate toward many people, and there are friends that I would do anything for if I could, financially or otherwise. So why not family? But man, this question's... And yet I'm going to post this because it's bothered me. But I'm glad you asked it.